there a link? Let's see. Email to what was your email? This one. This is ridiculous. Rock. Up there, up there, up there. Now. Can you hear me? See, 1, 2. This doesn't make any sense. Where's the chat? I don't understand. Record. Bandwidth settings. It's still, that says Hangouts. The other one's Yay! Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Ah, excellent.
Oh, good. That could have gone on a long time.
It could have.
So I didn't see your emails earlier about topics to pick. I mean, I just saw it now.
Yeah.
So what? Tell me again.
Well, so when I did a quick look on the things that popped up was that really the first one was Wounded Warrior Project.
And what is that?
So are you familiar with Wounded Warrior Project at all?
Is that the Gary Sinise one?
He's probably supported them. So
Okay.
so the silhouette that you see of one soldier carrying another one, it belongs to an organization called the Wounded Warrior Project. They've been around since just after 9/11, and in the last year or so, they're in the news because two of the CEOs were basically squandering millions of dollars every year on. They were going too lavish on things. They're spending money on stuff they didn't need to. Instead of turning a lot of the money back toward veterans and their support, they were turning it into having really nice stuff at really big events, really high salaries, for themselves, members of the board, so doing things they shouldn't have been doing while purporting to do something else.
Okay.
So that was one that I thought that there's probably enough analysis on it. There's probably enough information. I thought about the Wells Fargo that just started going on, but I don't know enough about it, and I don't know how much information there is from a crisis communications analysis perspective to look at. And outside of that, the only other one I would said use, but it would be self-serving, is the BP crisis, because oil crisis from 2010. But I'm already using that in a different in my paper.
Okay.
But it's a good one, but it's not fair because it would serve every interest of my own.
And I wouldn't know anything about it.
No, well, there's a lot. There were a lot of studies done. There's a lot of information, but I don't know. So I wasn't sure if you had any thoughts on what we ought to look at or what might be a good idea.
So for the Wounded Warrior one, you would do it where we're defending the Wounded Warrior Project?
I don't know how we're supposed to go back and look at it. My understanding is at one point or another, so you're a journalist and then I'm a journalist, asking you, a member of the Wounded Warrior Project, about this scenario, about what's going on.
Yep.
So I don't know if it's, I guess that's in defense of it, yeah.
Okay.
Is that how she put it?
That's the way I took it. I mean, I don't know, but that's the way I interpret it, because if we're the director of communications for whichever project we pick, I would assume that we're on the side of the Wounded Warrior Project if we pick that one, right?
Yeah. I don't want to defend my use of money. Well, we're spending a lot of money because a lot of people are giving us money. Yeah.
But if there's stuff out there, if there's reports out there of how they've done it, we could look and see what they've said.
Well, so it's been 6 to 9 months since the CEOs were kicked out, and so somebody else has taken leadership. So the organization is on a track to fix itself. So we can certainly take it from a standpoint of today. This is what happened. This is what's been in the news. What is going on? How are you dealing with the situation now?
I could do that one. The only other things I could think of was because of the presidential race. Who are you for?
I am. All right. So before I give a real good answer, so I was watching. Do you ever watch Bill Maher on HBO?
No.
Okay. I don't like him, but I like to watch him because I like to watch people on the fringe.
Yeah.
And they have they had a Republican on there that put it real well that, you know, he's not for Trump, but he's not for Hillary. He is for someone that he feels comfortable voting for, which is
Yeah.
neither of the two. I don't like either one of them.
Okay.
I just, as different as they are, I think they're really much the same thing. It's the same Kool-Aid, one way or the other.
Packaged differently.
And yeah, neither one of them is talking about what they want to do and what they're
Yep.
going to do. They're
Yep.
too busy talking about the other one.
Yep.
And I don't really care for that. It's high school. I left high school a long time ago.
Yep.
So yeah, if I had to vote today, it would be for the guy that's not getting the debate tomorrow. It would be Johnson.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of people around here who like him too. I
Yeah.
can't stand Hillary, so just so you know, I hate her.
No, yeah.
I'm
I
voting
just-
for Trump, but
Well,
and you know, I understand where people don't like him. And I don't know that and when he first decided to run, I don't know that I completely trust him.
yeah.
But I think he's smart enough. I mean, he has enough business sense where he knows how to negotiate.
Yeah.
And I think he's smart enough where he would bring in people who know what he doesn't. You know, so
He, unlike any of the others, really has to bring in people who know what they're talking about
Yep.
and rely on them.
Yep.
I think, you know, they both have a level of being disingenuous in how they present themselves. You know, and she, for me, is too much of the same that is we've always had. And maybe that's okay. And the only problem I have with Donald really is he comes across like a buffoon, and
Yeah.
I don't want him to hurt the reputation and the appearance of our country. You know, I don't want us, you know, coming across like a raving lunatic. But
don't you think though that in reality, so you have Hillary Clinton, who's very polished on air, you know, and knows how to say knows how to say what people want her to say.
Yep.
And you have Trump, who isn't as polished, but who, like, in reality, probably would do a better job between countries and whatever than these ones who appear polished. I don't know. That's just what I think.
I don't know how he would do internationally. For the United States, they will all do about the same. It just depends on which initiatives they create that are going to gain traction. You know, I mean, how much did Obama do in office, or did he not do? It's really a function of the bipartisanship in the country and what support he got, and which sticky idea did he create that the country decided to go ahead and support. But I mean, otherwise, the things Trump says, you know, people have pulled up and showed that the same stuff that Bill Clinton was saying, you know, same things. I mean, they all talk about the same stuff. They're flip-flopping, I think, is silly because they change agendas depending on the wind and depending on the current climate.
Yeah.
So, okay, I don't care where Hillary ever stood on abortion or women's rights or immigration, because what she did 10 years ago is irrelevant to what she's doing now, because they're going to change to exactly what needs to be done to get elected now.
Yeah.
You know, and all of the change that Obama put out that he was going to do, I would hazard a guess that he didn't do any of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but none
I
of
don't
them.
like him either.
Well, you know, even Bush's father, 1,000 points of light, not going to raise taxes.
Yeah.
You know, well, okay. I mean, the political promises are just that. Hey, let me get in office. That's what, you know.
Well, that's why I kind of like Trump, because he wants to get rid of some of that. So I don't know. We'll see.
No, well, and a change, we'll see. I mean, it depends on how much could he change the power of the office and how it is able to do things. Will he just do everything by executive order, like it seems like Obama tries to do periodically, which is not unlike what Bush did before him, and who knows?
Yeah.
So,
Well,
it'll
so
be
the only thing I was thinking about some of that was for being in the news. It would be like Hillary Clinton's health, because that's like a big crisis thing.
Okay.
And with Trump, we could do, like you say, how he's comes across like a buffoon. But I'm fine with the Wounded Warrior Project too. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, either one. I mean, dealing with her health and the importance of presidential candidates' health and knowledge of that. I don't know a lot about it.
Well, and the hard part of that is we have to defend her.
Yeah.
I mean, like if we pick her, we have to defend her.
Well, we really only have to defend a presidential candidate who has potentially poor health issues. She happens to be named Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay, so we need to record 2 minutes of this, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then what do we do? Send a link to the professor, or?
Yep. We each have to send a link, so yeah.
Okay, so can we record it at the same time? Well, I guess we should record 2 minutes for one and then 2 minutes for the other one.
Probably, yeah, because that's how we have to do the the one for Unit 5 too.
Okay, where's the record button?
Well, now that is the $1,000,000 question. It says you're in stream. Did you go through YouTube?
Yes, I went through YouTube.
Usually on the bottom, there's a blue button that says start broadcast or something.
Yeah, so I've got broadcast started. So is that recording? I mean, is that by doing that? Oh, then we've been recording the whole time?
So if you click it now, does it stop it?
If I hit stop broadcast, let me see if it cuts us off.